In the first part of this presentation, we looked in detail at pastoral imagery and what it represents. And so that will help us understand a little bit about why we're getting these detailed descriptions of plants and flowers in Serena's garden, why this matters. Well, if the garden represents something that's natural, something that's free, something that's beautiful, something that represents love and fertility, when Serena Joy is snipping off the seed pods with a pair of shears, it sort of means the opposite, doesn't it? That she's taking this freedom and taking this beauty and that she is controlling it. So it's a symbol of authoritarianism, isn't it? You know, violent authoritarianism. She's using a blade in order to control nature, to destroy what's natural, or at the very least, to bend it to her will. Furthermore, we get these very, very beautiful descriptions of the irises and the other flowers in the sun and all their beautiful colours. And just like elsewhere in the book, there seems to be some juxtaposition here. June appreciates nature, and perhaps that means that she retains some hope and something of her humanity in a world that dehumanizes her. She's human because it is human to look at nature and its beauty and to appreciate it and to enjoy it, and she still does. But perhaps the most important thing about all the pastoral imagery here is that when men created Gilead, what they were trying to create was a utopia, an ideal place, a paradise, just like the Garden of Eden. And on the surface, they've done that. And from these descriptions, we can see that there are houses with beautiful gardens full of flowers. There are neat trimmed lawns, there are rivers and there are trees, and the sun is always shining. And on the surface, it is manifestly, that means on the surface, you've learned that word, beautiful. However, it's only a utopia on the surface. The tourist, we see those Japanese tourists earlier in the book, and they're very, very impressed with Gilead because it looks pretty. But we know that below the surface there is this latent violence, this latent exploitation, the murder, the rape, the torture. And so even though they've tried to create God's paradise on earth in creating Gilead, what they've actually created is a hell. And therefore there is this juxtaposition, isn't there, between the beautiful imagery of the garden and then the violence of the shears, or the idea that anything female in shape is rooted out because female sexuality is very, very, very controlled in this dystopia. I need to take you back to the previous section on what we said about in medieval times. The garden was female space. It was a place where a woman could be alone with her thoughts. It was a place where a woman could go to meet a lover, or to pray, or to think, or to sing, or to practice handicrafts. And it was a woman's private space. And so it's interesting here that right after those descriptions of the garden, she talks about the commander and I have an arrangement. And so just like those medieval ladies skulking around in the orchard and in the herb garden of their mansion, June's sort of doing the same thing. She doesn't have any choice in the matter, of course, but then perhaps you know, in medieval Europe, women didn't have much of a choice either. She has an arrangement and she has to sort of stick with it. She has to avoid getting caught because, of course, she's under surveillance all the time, and she has to listen out for signals. And, you know, if this was a conventional love affair, it would be exciting and it would be romantic. But here in this dystopia, it's merely it's frightening. You know, we fear for her safety, don't we? We fear for her getting caught. Finally then, bringing these disconnected thoughts together, what would I be writing about if I was answering this question? How does the writer present a dystopian world? Well, I will be picking some of these ideas. I'd be talking about the fact that the beautiful nature, the beautiful flowers, make Gilead seem like a utopia, an ideal place on the surface, but the violence underneath is very heavily symbolized. I'd be talking about the fact that on the surface it's a paradise like the Garden of Eden, yet here's Serena Joy snipping down the flowers, controlling it, destroying it. And so this isn't the Garden of Eden, this isn't paradise, it is a ruined paradise. I talk about the fact that a woman sneaking around the garden with her rebellious thoughts, and this arrangement she has with the commander, displays to us a female character, a woman surviving in a patriarchy that uses her and exploits her. I'd be talking about June's thoughts and feelings, the fact that she wants those shears, the fact that she appreciates the flowers, suggests to me that there is still something human and beautiful in June that yearns to get out. She can't express it in words because she's not allowed to. And so this is dystopian because June is a captive who yearns to be free, who yearns to be human again. We see her rebellion. June is a servant, she's a handmaid, her services are obvious. And in public, in the company of the commander, she is very, very obedient. However, in this extract, we see her latent rebellion. She wants those shears because she wants to be free. And then, of course, Serena Joy snipping the flowers symbolizes the violent control of human reproduction that the state of Gilead inflicts upon its citizens. And of course, we can extend that metaphor further. If nature and flowers and the pastoral represents everything that is good about being human, love and passion, then Serena Joy trimming it and cutting it represents that repression of everything it is that makes us human and everything that makes being human worthwhile. Freedom, joy, love, sexuality. Okay, well, I think this was quite difficult and quite complicated. However, I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you found it useful and that you've got some ideas from it. And good luck with your writing. I really look forward to reading them.